going on, guys? Chris with Deskhaus. We are back for another video. In this one, we're going to compare our Peak Pro versus the Uplift V2 standard four-leg. But before I get into that, I just want to remind y'all, every one of these videos, we are going to give away an Ergotron MVX monitor arm. All you have to do is leave a comment down below. You don't got to sub or anything like that. And then after 10 days, we will pick one of the commenters and give them away. And by pick, I mean we're just going to count them up, do a random number generator, pick that, count that many columns or comments down, and pick the winner. That said, if you comment more than once, you're not going to get 2 entries. If you like, we're not going to count a reply to a comment as one. Leave your own individual comment, and that's what we're going to base it off of. That said, if you have not left a comment on our previous video, which was the Branch Duo video, you can do that now or after this video, and it hasn't been 10 days yet, but that will be the earliest giveaway. All right, so back to the Uplift V2 standard four-leg. We're doing this one because it's practically, there's some variations of it, but it's practically identical to our desk. Except they use the inverted columns. I call it the chicken legs because it's got the smallest tube on bottom, where ours has the biggest tube on bottom. And then we're doing the standard and not commercial because it is my personal belief, and I'm willing to argue against anybody, that the V2 standard is actually more stable than their commercial version. It's a big misconception. People see more expensive commercial version, they see the crossbar and they assume stability. But when you go to that commercial version, yes, you are getting a crossbar, but you are losing the wedge design. And in my opinion, having this lateral stability wedge at the top is a lot better for that stability than a crossbar down below. And also on the commercial version, they're not using this style column, they're using this style, which is exactly why they can't have the wedge. Basically the wedge would be at the bottom at that point. But it's called commercial because it hits the BIFMA height range of what is roughly 22.5 to 48.5 in travel range. When you're a corporation buying thousands of desks at a time, you want to hit the height range for most of your employees, which is that BIFMA height range. So Uplift basically adds the crossbar, takes this away, uses a different column to call it the commercial version to hit that height range, but it doesn't make it more stable. And in my opinion, this is more stable. So if you don't want to buy from us, that's fine. If you want to buy from Uplift, cool. Save yourself what is $90 to $180, depending on whether you do the 2-leg or the 4-leg, and get the standard version. I think it is way more stable, and overall, you're going to save money. So speaking of Uplift too, I think it was 2-3 years ago, Uplift used to sell this base right here without feet. So basically, you're getting a 4-post standing desk. Now, being a 4-post, it's unstable. It's just always been unstable, and it would do what I would call crab walking. Whether you're shaking it from side to side, each post kind of moves independently, and there's not a lot of stability. So for the 3-4 years that Uplift sold that desk prior, it was like this design, and nobody online, no TikToker, no whatever, ever brought up the stability until little old Deskhaus in like 2020 or 2021 started making a couple videos about it. And it took literally, I think, 1 week for Uplift to email us and say that they changed the design. So just keep all of those TikToker and influencers and paid ads, take them with a grain of salt because they might not always be honest. All right, so we got this guy raised all the way up. Let's raise this one. So side to side, you definitely got some side to side. Front to back, definitely can get it moving. And this is at max height. Side to side, definitely have some side to side. Front to back, I'm actually pretty impressed right there with how I can't really get it moving like I just got the Uplift one. But let's lower it to a more manageable height. We'll go to what is my working height, an estimate at least. Actually, let's just go a little bit lower because I think I'm above average. So that side to side, it gets very, very minimal. Front to back, you can get a little bit going. Let's try to get this to the same height. side to side, can get some side to side. Front to back still can get practically no. I'm going to say no, but I'm sure there'd ever be ever so slightly. Now that said, I do think ours front to back is more stable, but because their wedge is a little bit deeper and they have the inverted leg, I do think when I move this side to side, I feel like they both move the same amount, but this is like quicker to recenter itself. So when we're talking purely side to side stability, I do think that goes to Uplift. But in my opinion, most people should always buy a desk for that front to back stability. And not only that, but if we're talking cost-wise, this rings out with, you know, that base with a programmable switch. You have to add a Bluetooth dongle to get the Bluetooth features. That rings out at like $977, where ours rings out at $785, which is basically $200 cheaper. You're gonna get the same thing with maybe a smidge less side-to-side stability, but a smidge more front-to-back stability. So before we end this, I just want to remind everybody that all you got to do is leave a comment down below. And our Peak series, they are on the water right now, and they should be here mid-March, so they still are on pre-order. So if you order today, they're arriving mid-March. Give us a week or two just to get out all of them, but you can still get your pre-order in. See you guys.